Hey everyone, my name is Christine. I am a senior studying biology at Notre Dame de Namur University in Belmont, California, and I'm taking this course called Moral Problems. So basically, we just study ethics around the world. Quick shout out to Dr. Barry for being the coolest philosophy professor ever. But, anyways, in this class, we watched the episode Nosedive, which is the first episode of season 3 of the Netflix original Black Mirror. If you haven't seen the episode or the show in general, basically, I haven't seen the rest of the show, but this particular episode, um, it's based in a society where every little action that you do, people rate you on it on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. Of course, 1 star being the lowest, 5 star being the highest. And people have these contact lenses in where when they see someone, they see their score based on what other people rate them. And when I saw this society, I immediately thought of the story by Max Lucado called You Are Special. And basically, it's about these little wooden people, and they rate each other based on, the paint of coat that they have, how smooth the wood is on them. So for the wooden people who have, nice coats of paint and smoothed out wood, the other wooden people would give them a star sticker, which is equivalent to 5 stars. And then the other wooden people who have, chipped paint, their wood is cracking or splintering or stuff like that, the wooden people would give them a gray circle. And there's one wooden person or one wooden figure, I forget his name, but he goes to the woodmaker because he's always getting the gray circles, and the woodmaker says that he is special and that he shouldn't care about what other people think about him. And once he leaves the woodmaker's place, all of the stickers that he has on him just start falling off because he doesn't care what people think about him. And that's really similar to how it is in Nosedive, in Black Mirror. We're going to be talking a little bit about philosophy here, so get ready. One major philosophical point in the show is egoism by Kant. Kant is a philosopher. Egoism is the philosophical normative ethic that he came up with. Egoism basically states, I have some notes here, but egoism is basically all about yourself, what's best for you. And that's basically what this world is about. I mean, people are constantly doing things to make people like them. They act fake in front of each other just so that they can get a 5-star rating. You see this all the time when Lacey is in the elevator talking to I forget her name, the lady she's in the elevator with. She's acting fake and, being all just not acting like herself just so that she can get that 5-star rating. And it's just sad to see that people can't be themselves just because people are going to rate them down because of it. And you also see that when Lacey is hitchhiking to get to Port Mary so that she can go to Nene's wedding because she's the maid of honor, and she's talking to the truck driver, and the truck driver tells her story about how she was a 4.6, I think, and her husband was a 4.3, and her husband had cancer, and they found out about this experimental program that would try to cure cancer. And she 5-starred, every doctor, every nurse, every specialist they went to so that they can get a spot at this experimental place. But since her husband was a 4-3, he wasn't able to get in, and they gave his spot away to a 4-4. And he died, of course. And since then, she just didn't give a shit about what people thought about her. She didn't care that, the friends that she used to have, that they didn't really take to honesty that well, because, when you're being fake around people, honesty isn't necessarily the one thing that comes up a lot. It's mostly just, kissing ass, basically. And she dropped down to, I think, a 1-4, which is really, really low. But anyways, the next philosophical thing that I saw in this show was not really a big thing throughout, but it is something to note, which is deontology. Basically, is the philosophy behind following rules. And, you can sort of see it generally throughout, but the main one that I saw was when Lacey was in the airport trying to, get her flight. She dropped down to a 4-1. She was originally a 4-2, I think, but the cab driver gave her a bad rating, so she dropped down to a 4-1. She wasn't able to get on her flight because she wasn't at the right rating. And, she was getting mad, and she was yelling, and, using profanity, and that is against the rules in the airport. And she had to be escorted out. She got double damage, and she got docked down one whole ranking. So she got dropped down to a 3-1, and double damage was basically whenever someone gives you a bad rating, it's worth double. I'm not sure how much you get docked down originally for just one bad rating, but it would be double. And eventually, at the end of the show, she gets to the wedding somehow, and she's giving her speech, and she's, basically being completely honest with everyone about everything, about her and Naomi and all the shit that they've gone through and stuff. And everyone, since she was still on double damage, she got docked down completely till she had no score whatsoever, no rating at all. And that's really similar to the story I was saying before, the Max Lucado's You Are Special. And yeah, she got knocked down all the way to 0, so she got sent to this penitentiary type of place where they took out her contact lenses so she couldn't see people's ratings, and she was put into the cell. And across from her was this guy, and they were just, talking smack about each other, saying like, oh, your mama, like, your mama's so fat and that stuff. Stuff that would be looked down upon in this society. And just interesting to see it in that society when, you have to kiss ass to everyone, and then when you finally have no score, it doesn't matter. Like, what you say doesn't matter at all to anyone, because, they can't dock you, you can't dock them. And it's I would say it would be a very liberating feeling. So that's pretty much about my review. I think it's a really interesting show. I hopefully plan to watch it once winter break starts. Finals are next week, so I'm like swamped with work. But yeah, it's a really interesting show, full of ethics and philosophical questions that you could be asking yourself. And yeah, so I want to hear your guys' response. What do you think? If you've seen the episode, what type of ethics do you see in there? And do you think that Nosedive, this particular episode, could be foreshadowing the future? I mean, we already rate each other on several different scales. I mean, Facebook, there's, likes, there's hearts, there's, wow faces, there's angry faces, sad faces. On Instagram, we're always liking people's pictures. Yelp, you're rating restaurants. Uber, you rate your Uber driver, and I didn't notice until recently, but your Uber driver also rates you. So, do you guys think that this is the future? Do you think that in maybe 20 years we'll be rating each other for realsies? Like, would it be, do you think like jobs will be based on our ratings compared to, our degrees and our, involvement in the field that we want to get into? I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. So comment below what you guys think the future will be and what other ethical systems do you see in this show. So I'll see you in my next video. Bye!